Spiritual aristocrats are the hope of humanity. Xiefeng. January 15, 2024. Firstly, the aristocrats discussed in this article are not those defined in the traditional sense or in dictionaries who inherit titles, possess a large amount of wealth and power, and enjoy different rights from ordinary people under the law. Instead, they refer to those who are noble in spirit, rich in soul, not manipulated by the power, capital, cultural customs, and trends of the real world, independent, noble in character, and elegant. When we observe human society, more than 95% of people are swept away by power, money, customs, and trends. That is to say, as long as people worship and pursue power and status, chase material wealth, follow the rules and regulations of traditional customs and rules, and chase the tide of the times, then they are vulgar people, and their personality cannot rise to the temperament and realm of aristocrats. In the traditional definition, the opposite of an aristocrat is a commoner. In my understanding, the opposite of an aristocrat is a beggar. The reason why an aristocrat is that he has no demands on the outside world, no flattery, no fawning, no bribery, no kneeling, no compromise, no expectations, no confrontation. The reason why a beggar is that he has demands on the outside world. As long as there are demands, he is a beggar. For example, a rich man, if he has demands on government officials, this rich man is a beggar. A president, if he has demands on the people, this president is a beggar. For example, an entrepreneur can apply for a loan from a bank through regular procedures, but if he obtains a loan by bribing or winning over bank employees, then this entrepreneur is also a beggar. A university professor, if he bows and scrapes to the principal or the board of directors in order to keep his job or get promoted, then this university professor is a beggar. No matter who it is, as long as one has demands on the outside world, has expectations, and tramples on one's own dignity, personality, freedom, and independence, then he is a thorough beggar. Why do I say that Chanyuan celestials should all be spiritual aristocrats? Because in the 20 years since the birth of the Lifechanyuan, we only walked the way of the greatest creator and the path of Chanyuan. We do not rely on others for survival, we never bribe those with power and influence, we do not envy power and status, we do not care for luxury cars, luxury houses, yachts, luxury goods, we do not chase gold, silver, jewelry, and material capital, we treat presidents, rich people, celebrities, masters equally, we only rely on our own diligence and wisdom to seek survival, rather than relying on fawning, flattering, bowing and scraping, compromising, seeking survival even more will not rely on speculation, violation of the law and crime, and harm to life, harm to others, harm to society to seek survival. If you want to suppress us to make us submit, there is no door. If you want to threaten and tempt us to conquer us, there is no door. If you want to buy us with money, there is no door. If you want to force us to submit through various restrictions and blockades, there is no door. Even within the Lifechanyuan, no one should impose his will on others, even if it is a tour guide, you only have to be a tour guide for tourists, you have no qualifications and power to impose your will on any Chanyuan celestial, unless I am willing, otherwise, I still ignore you. Similarly, any crown of Chanyuan celestial should not threaten or kidnap and restrict the tour guide. If you think the tour guide is fun, play together. If you think the tour guide is not fun, the tour guide doesn't want to play with you. We look at the fisherman, he hangs the bait that the fish likes to eat on the fish hook. If the fish thinks it's easy and cheap and feels that it's a waste not to eat it, once swallowed, its life is over. We look at the devil and his son and grandson, they use money, power, fame, status, beauty, and various small favors to fish for people. People are rushing to these baits. Once hooked, their small lives are over. These baits are like a whirlpool. Once you whirl in, you can no longer get the joy, happiness, freedom, contentment, and dignity of life, and you can no longer step into the gate of heaven. May there be more and more spiritual aristocrats born in the world. The history of mankind for thousands of years tells us that material aristocrats and power aristocrats will not bring freedom, peace, dignity, and happiness to mankind. Only spiritual aristocrats are the hope of mankind.